Hey guys, I'm back with a new session on American literature. And when I was making the previous video on American literature, I felt that I should go with more clarity. I should, talk about American literature or any type of literature with more clarity so that it can help people without confusions. So, today I'm going to talk about American literature and the age of Romanticism. So don't confuse yourself here. I'm going to talk about American Romanticism, not British Romanticism. Okay, I hope you are getting me. I'm talking about American literature and the age of Romanticism in American literature. So the questions that are going to be the part of this video and one another video, two videos I'm going to make on American literature and its age of Romanticism, and this one is first one, and one another video I'm going to make on it. So the questions will deal only with American literature in these two videos. So here are some questions on American Romanticism, and the first one is, which of the following is not mentioned by Dickinson in her poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death? So here we are talking about the poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death, which is a poem by Emily Dickinson. And the question is, इनमें से किसका जिक्र एमिली डिकिंसन ने अपनी पोएम बिकॉज आई कुड नॉट स्टॉप फॉर डेथ में नहीं किया है? ओके, द ऑप्शंस आर school children, landscape, funeral, setting sun. Right, when we read the poem, we get to know that school children, landscape, and setting sun are there. And funeral is indirectly mentioned by her, it is not mentioned, but it is talked about because final journey itself means funeral, but it is not mentioned anywhere in the poem. So the right answer is funeral. Through school children, she highlights the childhood, and through setting sun, she highlights the period of old age. And landscape is also there. So funeral is not mentioned directly by Emily Dickinson. So funeral is the right answer. Okay. Next question is, idea of man thinking occurs in which work of Emerson? Idea of man thinking occurs in which work of Emerson? And the options are Oversoul, American Scholar, Nature, Brahma. And the correct answer is American Scholar. In this work, Emerson says that as every farmer is man farming, in the same way every scholar is man thinking. So we should work in united terms, and just the way scholar plays his role by being the intellect of universe, in the same way everyone should play his own part in unity. Okay, next question is, Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe is a, सो ब्लैक कैट एक वर्क है एडगर एलन पो का. वो क्या है? शॉर्ट स्टोरी है, पोएम है, नॉवल है, ऐसे है? एंड द करेक्ट आंसर इज शॉर्ट स्टोरी. इट इज़ अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी बाय एडगर एलन पो. ब्लैक कैट इज़ अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी बाय एडगर एलन पो. Next question is, which aspect of society is not discussed by Emerson in Self-Reliance? सेल्फ रिलायंस एक वर्क है एमरसन का, उसमें कौन से आस्पेक्ट, सोसाइटी के कौन से आस्पेक्ट की बात नहीं हुई है? एंड द ऑप्शंस आर रिलीजन, कल्चर, आर्ट एंड इकोनॉमी. एंड द करेक्ट आंसर इज इकोनॉमी, बिकॉज ही टॉक्स अबाउट रिलीजन, कल्चर, आर्ट in this work, and he doesn't talk about economy in Self-Reliance. The next question is, the character C Augustine Dupin occurs in which of the following works? There is a character C Augustine Dupin, वो इनमें से किस वर्क में appear करता है या है? And the options are Black Cat, Pit and Pendulum, The Raven, Murder of Rue Morgue. And the correct answer is Murder of Rue Morgue. This character C Augustine Dupin is a detective in this work, and he solves a mysterious case. So C Augustine Dupin is the character in Murder of Rue Morgue. The next question is, what is the name of the cat in Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe? Black Cat में जो cat है, this work Black Cat is written by Edgar Allan Poe, and इसमें एक cat है, उस कैट का नाम क्या है? व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट कैट? एंड द ऑप्शंस आर बेला, प्लूटो, सिम्बा, लूना. एंड द करेक्ट आंसर इज प्लूटो. Pluto is a cat in Black Cat, and Pluto is murdered by a man who goes insane after killing Pluto, and after becoming insane he kills his wife as well. So that's the way Black Cat is, the story is. So correct answer is Pluto. Pluto is the name of cat in Black Cat. The next question is Brahma is a work by. Brahma किसका work है? And the options are Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, Louisa May Alcott and Dickinson. And the correct answer is Emerson. Brahma is a work by Emerson where he talks about Brahma and soul, how Brahma and soul are connected, and soul is also Brahma. Okay, so the correct answer is Emerson. The work Brahma is written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The next question is Pit and Pendulum is a work by. Pit and Pendulum किसका work है? And the options are Emerson, Dickinson, Edgar Allan Poe and Douglas. So Pit and Pendulum is a work by Edgar Allan Poe. So the right answer is Edgar Allan Poe, and in this work he talks about torments of prisoners, Spanish prisoners. Okay, so the C option is the correct answer. Edgar Allan Poe writes Pit and Pendulum. The next question is who among the following talks about resistance to civil government? किसने resistance to civil government की बात की है? And the options are Emerson, Walt Whitman, William Byron, Henry David Thoreau. And the correct answer is Henry David Thoreau. So there is a work by Henry David Thoreau which is Civil Disobedience, and in that work he talks about that how one should not follow the unjust laws, and if for not following those unjust laws, if you have to be in prison, that is okay to be in prison. So Henry David Thoreau writes a work Civil Disobedience in which he talks about resistance to civil government, right? So D is the correct answer. The next question is Red Death in one of the works by Edgar Allan Poe refers to. Edgar Allan Poe के किसी वर्क में रेड डेथ का जिक्र है, वो किस से रेफर करता है या रेड डेथ का क्या मतलब है? एंड द ऑप्शंस आर फेमाइन, सनबर्न, प्लेग एंड लेप्रोसी. And the correct answer is plague. Red Death means plague in one of the works by Edgar Allan Poe. And what is the name of the work? The name of the work is Mask of Red Death, जिसमें Red Death का जिक्र है, और Red Death means plague. Right? Next question is inventor of detective fiction is. Who is the inventor of detective fiction? And the options are Emerson, Edgar Allan Poe, Henry David Thoreau and Dickinson. And who is the inventor of detective fiction? Edgar Allan Poe. So B is the right answer. Edgar Allan Poe is the inventor of detective fiction. Right? The next question is the name of the beloved whose death is mourned in the Raven is. So there is a poem, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. In that poem, whose death is mourned? What is the name of that beloved? And the options are Athena, Familia, Lenore, Norelia. And the correct answer is Lenore. The death of Lenore is mourned in The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Next question is Oversoul is a work by. Oversoul किसका work है? And the correct answer is Emerson. So Oversoul is not the work of Henry David Thoreau, Dickinson or James Cooper. Oversoul is a work by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Next question is art for art's sake is the key idea of. Art for art's sake किसका key idea है? इनमें से किस work का key idea है? And the options are I sing my body electric, O Captain, my Captain, American Scholar and Poetic Principle. And the correct answer is Poetic Principle. In Poetic Principle, Edgar Allan Poe talks about poems for the sake of poem. Poetry should be for its own sake. So there shouldn't be any other purpose for writing poetry. If we are writing a poem, that should be for its own sake. So moral purpose should not be purpose of any poem. So the right answer is poetic principle. Art for art's sake is the key idea of poetic principle. The next question is, which of the following poets is not admired by Emily Dickinson? Emily Dickinson ने किस poet की admire प्रशंसा नहीं की है? And the options are Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Keats, Robert Browning, and all of these are admired. And the correct answer is Robert Browning. Emily Dickinson admires two famous British poets, and these are Keats, John Keats, and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So Robert Browning is not admired by Emily Dickinson, and this is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Robert Browning is not admired by Emily Dickinson. So next question is, who is known as father of free verse? Free verse का father किसको कहा जाता है? And the options are Emily Dickinson, Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, and William Cullen Bryant. And the correct answer is Walt Whitman. Actually, Emily Dickinson also, writes in free verse kind of style. She doesn't follow any punctuation marks or capitalization. It is very unusual style of hers. But father of free verse is not Emily Dickinson, rather it is Walt Whitman. He also writes in a similar way like Emily Dickinson, free verse without following any punctuation or capitalizations, and both the styles are very similar, but Walt Whitman is the father of free verse, not Emily Dickinson. So B is the right answer. Walt Whitman is the father of free verse. So these are some questions on American Romanticism. I'm going to make another video to continue this session, so keep watching for more, and thank you so much for watching this video.